And this is actually our second live stream here or attempt today for February 19th. So we just received power back yesterday, and we are now on back in operations. Power was restored yesterday for many American Texans who experienced an entire week of power failure, our firm included, including my family. And I wish a lot of thoughts and prayers and best wishes for those millions of Americans, Texan Americans, who are still without power. And just to say that things, hopefully will get better. This was a devastating storm. It's moved off to the east now, but it's left in its wake lots of property damage. At least 36 people lost their lives as a result of this, and many people in the state of Texas still don't have safe drinking water, ourselves included. And as I said, 500,000 homes still do not have electricity as I speak here today. So it was an unprecedented winter weather event in Texas. They say it hadn't broke a lot of records and hadn't have been this bad for 100 years. And it's produced a lack of mobility, obviously electricity and the internet, and devastated a lot of infrastructure in the area. As far as the courts go, where we practice in Galveston and Harris County, almost all the courts have canceled all hearings and trials through the end of the week. That is today, Friday. And we will be getting in touch with our clients to talk about rescheduled hearings that we had this week. And but for now, this includes Zoom conferencing. All hearings, all trials have been canceled for the week in most of the courts that we practice in the Palmer Law Firm. Going through social media now that that's become available again, I see that a lot of people are suffering out there because of property damage due to the electrical downtime. Excuse me. And they are facing flooded homes and property damage and broken plumbing. And a lot of people are angry. A lot of people are frustrated about where to go and where to turn. And a lot of questions have been coming up about whether or not we can sue the government for the damages that happened as a result of the power outage. Very popular question right now. The answer to that could be coming to us as late as, or as early rather, as the end of today, late today, because the Texas Supreme Court is considering a ruling that it had previously put forward last year on a case about ERCOT. Now, ERCOT is the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, which is the organization that manages the flow of electrical power to the 26 million Texans who comprise about 90% of the power consumers in the state. This organization is a membership-based 401c4 organization that is a nonprofit. It does have oversight by the Public Utility Commission of Texas, but it is not a governmental entity per se. Now, that's important in deciding whether or not it'd be possible to file a lawsuit against them, because this organization, which comprises of basically people who profit from electricity, power marketers, retail electrical providers, investor-owned utilities. These people are the people that are in this commission, and their job was to make sure that the grid provides power for the consumers on a consistent basis. And according to the website, however, they also have a mandate to produce a profit, to make sure their investors are profitable. And that kind of is where a lot of the problem lies, in that they are not a governmental entity, and they are just using free market as the way to regulate whether or not we should have power at the ready in the reserve, or whether whether you upgrade power lines, power generating facilities, whether they're going to be winterized and things of that nature. So now ERCOT has claimed in the recent past, that it enjoys a thing we call sovereign immunity. Now, sovereign immunity basically means that you can't sue the state, you can't sue the government for its actions as a governmental entity, and it comes from a common law principle that's all over the United States, that a state can be sued or held liable where the injurious activities it did, the things that injured you, was proprietary and not governmental. So when the government is acting as a commercial entity instead of a government entity, like sovereign, then you should be able to sue the state. However, the state of Texas in 1985 passed a thing called the Texas Torts Claim Act, which pretty much took away the ability to sue the state even if the state was acting as a commercial entity. So, what is a governmental unit? Under the government code, says that it relates to several agencies of government that collectively constitute the government, including agencies bearing different designations, and all departments, bureaus, boards, commissions, offices, agencies, councils, and courts. But does that include the nonprofit organization that's run by the profit seeking entities? Is that included in the governmental immunity? Because if it is, then you can't sue them. But if it's not, then potentially you might be able to sue them. Now, there's an old case about a year ago. A Dallas company sued ERCOT because of the way they handled the projections for the state's future power supplies, and the Supreme Court, the Texas Supreme Court at that time, said that they didn't take the case, and said that ERCOT enjoyed governmental immunity. But if that's true, ERCOT is the only grid manager in the United States that has this sovereign immunity to it. So it's been reported that the Supreme Court is going to reconsider that ruling, and however that turns out will determine whether or not we can potentially sue ERCOT for damages that you experience on on a personal level. Now, these lawsuits will probably not be put forward by individuals, but taken up as a class action lawsuit if it goes forward. But the key, of course, is to decide whether or not ERCOT enjoys that governmental sovereign immunity protection against being sued because they're part of the government. It is debatable whether they are, part of the government. Their board is appointed by the governor, and again, those are people who are there for a profit. So it's a bit of a conflict of interest there. So we'll see on that. But whatever the case, we are up and running here, and then we hope you're up and running at your home, that your family is safe. This is a really rough time. We've got, obviously COVID is still rampant, and we're still dealing with the after effects of this storm. Freezing temperatures are projected through the weekend. Make sure that you're doing what you need to do to protect your family. And we still have more to go through on this winter storm. So my thoughts and prayers go out to you and all of us here at the Palmer Law Firm, and we hope that we can join you in hoping better days are ahead. If we can do anything for you, just give us a call. If you have any comments about this, leave a comment down in the comments section below, and we wish you well. Okay, we'll have another Facebook Live post in the near future. We're working out some technical difficulties, but we would like to communicate with you more, and hope the dialogue will be useful for you. So, all right, have a good day. Bye.